Well, hello, and welcome back, subscribers, to another Sunday Speed Paint. Today, I try and tackle 20 art styles challenge, YouTuber edition, where I may or may not succeed or fail, because I sunk in like 2 weeks worth of work here, and if you don't happen to see your favorite YouTuber, let me know in the comments down below, and I might do a part 2. Let's begin. Starting with Abd Illustrates. I love their content, and I feel like they are so underrated. They need 1 million subscribers. But that aside, I love all of their content. I love the Thomas Sanders fan art that they do. I love that they do a lot of Dungeons & Dragons fan art, which is how I initially found them, was during the month of Pride. I think they were making Pride Witches, if I remember correctly. And I fell in love with their art style, and I thought, wow, if they made their own content like a comic, I would love to binge read it or watch it. And lo and behold, within the last year, they made their own, and I love it so much. It's such a good comic, and I had loved the art style that they had not only in their videos, but in their little webtoons comic. So I tried to do a mesh blend of their YouTube videos and tried to draw if, well, my character here, Stencil Fox, was in kind of like one of their little speed paints. I wasn't sure what kind of pose to give them, so I thought, why not holding the phone, getting a notification from like Instagram or something. One thing I will say is, not every artist uses Procreate, so I had to kind of mess about and figure out what pens and tools to use, and the technique of cell shading in particular for Abd Illustrates was simple, so I didn't have to go ham and cheese on the shading. I don't know, what do you think? I think it looks kinda nice. Up next we have Alyssa Aaron. I love the 80s and 90s mesh vibe that I get from watching their little intro, and I absolutely love that it's just 80% Animal Crossing. I give extreme props to them because I had struggled with this one. Doing a completely lineless style with Procreate is really challenging for me. I tried my best with this, but extra props to Alyssa for doing all of the Animal Crossing villagers from A to Z and making a bunch of like posters with them. Like when I saw like some of my favorite characters being drawn in her style, I was just like, oh, I want to buy it, but I have to save my money, so someday I will love to buy some merch drawn by them for the Animal Crossing villagers. One thing you'll note here is, you don't see it in the speed paint, I actually had to go back and add Vixie's hair because I forgot that some villagers can indeed have hair on the top of their heads. I tried to do my best. I think I could do better next time, but it's a pass. Here we have Oddity. I had discovered them through TikTok and was obsessed with the way that they do so many different unique characters, the way that they draw. Like, have you seen some of their video content on TikTok? Like, it's entertaining, but it's also so unique. They have like a character mashup of like, but like, what if SpongeBob met Tinkerbell or something like that? It's so unique. And I also like that they incorporate like themselves and their husband to some of their drawings. It's like, what if he was a princess, or what if he was a mermaid? And some of the ways that they draw the characters is so like expressive. Shape, language, and colors are so unique. I love the way that they draw, so I tried my best for this challenge to do the best that I could for kind of replicating as best I could a pose that I would imagine they would do. It couldn't just be standing in a T pose or an A pose, although I feel like doing a T pose would be a power move for them. So I tried my best to kind of mimic and incorporate, because I think they use Procreate on their iPad, so I thought, let me try to see what kind of brushes I could use to do my best to replicate as best I could the textures, I guess you could call it, with the way that they shade and add little like rendered details. I tried so many different brushes, and I think I finally got something that works for it. I consider it a pass. I don't know, what do you guys think? Did I do this style pretty good? Next we have Bin of Trash, absolutely underrated artist in my opinion. They do so many different art styles, it is awesome. When I first discovered them, it was because they were doing a bunch of pixelated animations. They did chibis, they did super really cool OC chronicles with all of their characters, and it was motivational, and at the time it made me realize that it doesn't exactly matter what kind of stuff that you're producing, whether it's, you know, something simple or hyper-realistic. Draw what you want to draw, put it out there on the internet, and bring those characters to life. I liked their little OC chronicles, and I tried to draw like a chibi version of Stencil Fox, and I'm not sure if I nailed it, but I think it turned out pretty cute. Next we have Chaos 55T. I love their videos, and back when I had discovered them was the early days of the fake witches stories, and the story times that they would share were really cool. I learned a lot. I think it was about paganism and witchcraft and all kinds of stuff that, for me, with my background in particular, which is a separate story time, would be something that would be disapproved in the household. But I loved watching their content because they kind of had a video back with, like, I think it was covering like people using tracing or stuff when they're beginners, and it's okay as you're kind of evolving your art style and just do what you want to do and have fun. And I don't know, I love the way that this character kind of almost looks like a living doll. Let me know what you guys think. Did I succeed in replicating the style? Next we have Emmariccio, and here's where I had my first technical difficulty that I will ask for a little bit of assistance from Vixie. So when I first found Emmariccio's channel, it was actually because of a collab with Sultan Sketches and I think Ginger Ninja OWO. I don't know why I find people through collabs like this, but I already have like 1,000 people that I'm subscribed to, but Emmariccio's style stood out to me just because of when I was watching their videos and they were covering anime. It was almost every single show that I had ever watched, and I'm like, God, I wish I could have grown up with you during high school, because I could just imagine the amount of times we could just watch anime over and over again. I don't know if I exactly got the style down, but I think it passes. Then we have Flying Pings. I misread their page every time because I thought it was Flying Pigs, but no, it's Flying Pings. And when I had first discovered them, it was because they were just drawing a lot of request artwork, and I thought this was kind of like a one-off thing because most artists that I had seen always had their requests closed, though this artist does it almost all the time. I don't know if they're still continuing the series, but I've seen at least like 10 of their videos where they draw at least like 3 to 5 requests in each video of all different kinds of characters. It doesn't matter what kind, simple to complex designs, and it was really cool to see that they did that alongside their commissions. And one thing that I liked about their style that I had started to question with my own artwork was how many layers it takes to add such detail. When I was watching their speed paints and I was watching how they were doing, I guess you could call it rendering of the hair, their hair has so many different sections of shadows and highlights and layers. It's kind of what made me kind of double think on, am I doing enough layers for my hair or clothes to make it stand out? And overall, I think if you guys want to, let me know down in the comments below which of these YouTubers you think I have heavily gotten inspired by, because I have followed like almost 1,000 people on YouTube, but the majority of the artists that are on this top 20 are the ones that I follow the most and keep up to date and tabs with the most, just because of the unique way that they either do their videos or their artwork. I think overall I would love to have spent longer studying Flying Pings, but for this one, I think this one's complete. Next we have Ginger Ninja OWO, or Uwu for those who still try and say that. I found their channel ages ago, back when they only had like 100,000 subscribers, Warrior Cats Pokemon, everything anime, and I love the Miraculous and the drunk videos, and yes, it is still my dream to one day have a collab with them. I don't care if we're talking about Pokemon or anime in a speed paint. It would be fun to just do a little mashup, and I had learned about Pokemon Jijinkas when watching their videos, and, you know, like I said, with the Emmariccio one, I found most of the YouTubers through collabs through them, and I was happy to see, like, the little, like, skits that they have in their videos, and most recently, with Pokemon, I'm kind of excited to see what they think of each new generation of Pokemon, and the videos that they make are well worth the wait, and I have, when I had the spare expenses, loved checking out their Patreon. It's really cool. I don't know if I succeeded in replicating their style, but I did try my best. Next we have Hungry Soma. I love their artwork, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do my pony Sona, because I have one of those, or if I was going to do my character Vixie, so I looked through their artwork on DeviantArt and found that they do indeed have a very cute human chibi style, and I've recently been watching a lot of their YouTube streams where they have on a second channel a bunch of live streams where they've been playing stuff like the Pokemon Legends Arceus and a bunch of Slime Rancher and just really cute fun videos. I love watching their live streams, and I think that the small community that they have makes for nice interactions when watching, feeling like you are actually a part of the community when they talk back to you. And one of the things that I have on hold at the moment because of this challenge was actually making fan art for them, because I wanted to try to do this style and kind of pay my respects, because I love their content and it's just super cute. Next we have Jaden Animations. I believe that they are god-level tier of storytime animations, and the progress that they had from just stickers and adorable cute little style to full-blown, they have their own anime trailer now in full-blown animation, and the little story times that they cover are pretty sweet. Something that I didn't realize at first was, yeah, they were from the same state as The Odd Ones Out and myself, and when they went to a Comic-Con, I was so determined to hand them a piece of fan art that I made, but never did and chickened out. But I was at least happy to draw their art style and just kind of reminisce on it. Casey Golden. I love the uniqueness of every single type of project that they work on, ranging from felt ornaments to watercolor to digital artwork to washi tape. I could go on because they have so many, and I found them through their, I think it's like 500 or 300 art prompts challenge, and I love that they had ants and the ant army and all kinds of fun stuff, and I think it was because of their ant army that they had called like their subscribers. That is why I decided upon the subscribers, and I don't know, it's just a nice little thing to have for the community. And boy, when I say I struggled with trying to replicate because I didn't know if I wanted to do a watercolor or digital. So I tried the digital art style, but I think for some reason Animal Crossing was still on my mind, and when I made this, I don't know why, it feels like a scarecrow from Animal Crossing, and fun little wacky physics with the noodly arms and the triangle nose, and just, I don't know, it looks like a Raggedy Ann doll fun. I don't know. I think it's pretty good though. Next we have Kanan Lefferty. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I actually had found their channel when I was having a rough time with my art and trying to boost confidence on ways that I could, not necessarily like finding shortcuts, but ways to kind of incorporate references. And one of the things that they said that I thought was so controversial was just like, learn how to effectively have like theft from other arts. And I was watching and I realized, oh, they mean like learning from them and taking snippets from them, like how they do shading, what tools and techniques that they use, and had fun just kind of trying to replicate their art style, but I don't think I necessarily had succeeded because I think that they're using a particular software and techniques that they have practiced for months and months, and this was way outside of my element, but I did still try my best to do what I think would be kind of like a cel-shaded mixed with painterly style, and I think for the hair, that's one of the things that shows a lot with my character, is the characters, the way that people highlight their hair and the particular style of, I guess, shape language of the eyes or even the body says a lot about the artist. I struggled with trying to figure out how to almost like, not necessarily 3D chunks, but separate the hair with the way that they do their highlights. I realized they went back in with an eraser to get that nice little crisp circle effect to it, so I tried my best and I think it turned out pretty close. And on to Lavender Town. I used to try and say Lavender Town A because I wasn't entirely sure if the E at the end was pronounced that way, but another technical difficulty is with the not being able to see the sketch that I was doing. I really should learn to sketch with like a bright color instead of just going straight in to the line art. But I had fun with this process because of the way that Lavender Town draws the expressive shapes for the eyes and just no holds bar with having fun. Doesn't matter if it's noodle physics for the arms, and just watching them when they did the drawing like different art style challenges was one of the original things that inspired me to do this ages ago, but I failed miserably and was happy to try again. And I wanted to give so much hair to Stencil Fox in this particular one because I think that's something that they do with the characters to make them stand out, is giving them extra detailed features. And when they did like human versions of snacks and such, making like cute anime-ified Cheetos or Hershey's chocolate bars, I had fun with kind of thinking that would be something fun for the future to add to my bucket list of making some sort of fun art challenge, but in anthropomorphic furry style or weird creature designs. I don't know. I overall think that this one turned out pretty cute. I still need to work on that hairstyle though. Next we have Natrix. I am in love with the way that they draw their styles, so unique in so much detail but in such a simplified form, and when they make their videos they add such a nice little story touch to it with their family, and they're in Australia, and boy howdy, I love watching all of the videos when they vlog and the little miniature models that they do on a side tangent. But for this challenge, I thought, you know, it needs its extra personal touch. I didn't know if I wanted to go for the simplified cutesy factor, so let me go grab some assistance from Vixie for this one. Sorry about that. What I was saying is, I wasn't sure if I wanted to add the spooky factor or not, so I had Vixie help me with this one, and I thought, you know, you need extra fur. Where are you gonna get a nice little cape out of nice fur? So I thought Vixie could help me for this, and can't really get such a natural red hair without a little bit of assistance, and hair dye just seemed really boring. I don't know, do you guys think that I managed to capture the spooky vibes for this? Let me know. And don't worry, no foxes were harmed in the making of this video. Next we have Olive Cow, back to furry time. I had fun with this because during Art Fight I actually did a drawing for them, and I actually had received one in return of my character, and it looked super adorable, so I technically had something to work with of what would my character look like in their art style. So I didn't want to necessarily draw it exactly how that one was, so I thought, let me try a different pose. Instead of them facing fully forward, I wanted to do slightly sideways, and I love the way that they're just, it's such a simple cel-shaded art style, but they also draw some nice shiny booty. If you do not know what I'm talking about, go check out some of their art and you will understand, but some of it is absolutely for mature audiences if you're checking it out on DeviantArt, but overall just super adorable, cutesy, and I don't know, just something about it is just what drew me into wanting to make perhaps a simplified YouTube story time stencil fox Vixie. I don't know if any of that made any sense, but this took me quite a while to make this video. This is like weeks in the works, so I was running on fumes when I was trying to finish this, but I think it turned out pretty close to their style. Then we have Oliver's Antics, another underrated artist who does really amazing, unique art style. I have yet to see someone who can do both traditional and digital artwork in almost the exact same style, but boy, I don't know how they managed to hone this talent that they did, but it's really cool to see them, and I aspire to at least learn something from this, because when I tried to do the hair and the clothes is something that I'm still working on trying to figure out a render style, but when I had broken up the hair into pieces, I thought for this challenge, kind of similar to what I'd seen them do in their speed paints, they do at least like 2 sketches, 3 line art processes, and then they go into a separate render style. I think they must use like 50 layers, which is really cool. So I tried to do as best I could, where I think that they do like the natural color, the shading, and the highlighting right on top of each other, and they erase and kind of blend it all out. And something about it just kind of reminds me, I forget what the name of the anime is, but those like shiny crystal anime people, that's what it reminds me of. But I had also slightly struggled with the fluffiness of Stencil Fox's jacket here, because I didn't know if I should try to go completely lineless, but then I remembered that when I was looking at more reference images that they do still have for some of it the outline details, so I left it for the clothes but took away as much as I could for the cotton poofiness of Stencil Fox's jacket, and I wanted to do an exaggerative pose so that I could get as many wrinkles in the clothes as possible, because that's something that they seem to do a lot of, is adding as much wrinkly folds and shines to the clothes. I know that most cotton fabrics don't shine like this, but I wanted to do my best to mimic it. Let me know what you think. This one honestly is like my favorite of the challenge so far. Overly Sarcastic Productions. I wish I had them when I was going through middle school and high school history. I will sit down for hours and just put on a playlist listening to their stories that they have to share about all kinds of stuff throughout the history of all different things, and learned just how sus Zeus is. Oh my gosh. But I like just the simple style, so I just went for what they do for like their little character avatar the red and blue, I think, is the general names that people have given to them, and I wanted to just kind of outline the character. It was something I noticed is they don't fully actually draw every single line, like I had to purposefully space it out, and I think it's only colors for the hair and eyes, but I like it. It's simple, but effective. Next we have Subjectively. When I first found their channel, it was because of Fakemon or Pokemon that they were making for just kind of fun stuff, and I think I also had found them with Pokemon armor sets. They do a lot of like fantasy, whimsically fun stuff, but something that I enjoyed about their artwork was the defined rendering style. And I think this was with like an Inktober, but I don't remember what it was called that they did, but like they did so many art challenges. I binge watched like almost every single one of their playlists, and I have a lot that I wish that I would have refined for this particular illustration, because I don't think I did this art style justice at all. I went completely against the grain, which I don't know if that was like effective or not for this particular YouTuber because of the way that they have like just go for it kind of style. But one thing I think that I missed the opportunity on was, again, with my hair. It's always the hair. I thought that if I just kind of outlined the background in a darker color, I could just do the edges with highlights, but I think when I was trying to separate the hair, I didn't quite achieve what I wanted to for the cell shading look that they do, because I think they draw each and every single section one at a time and shade it and highlight it, and I still really need to work on that. So instead of cell shading, I just for some reason decided to blend it all together, and it doesn't look like what I intended to, but let me know what you guys think down below. Next we have Unknown Spy. I enjoy their videos just for the simple but effective way that they make characters, silhouettes, and designs, animation, all kinds of fun stuff. I found them when I was watching their, I forget what it's called, characters that look like play and pause and stop and all these fun designs, and then they started making, I think it was like a Halloween Inktober, designing characters and making monster characters, and then Full Blown made a fun little character that I think is their mascot, Sploot, little fun avatar alien with so many funky memes, and now they're doing like little YouTube shorts, and it's so much fun. I love all the unique designs, and my wallet screams at me not to buy any of the characters when they have adopts up for sale because they're so cool and so unique, but then I remind myself, I have 100 characters, I don't need any more right now, you can wait. And so I just thought, okay, how can I replicate the style that they do? And I realized part of that goes into the simplified design that they do, where the silhouette speaks volumes, and the line art that they do when I was watching their speed paints, they go over the line art and they add almost like an extra outline. Like when you think of a sticker on a character, usually it's like a nice white outline. For them, when they outline it, it looks like it's just a bold outline that goes around the whole edge. And I think I had achieved that with Vixie here. I wanted to do Vixie rather than Stencil Fox because they're more familiar with object head characters and furries, so I think it turned out pretty cool. Lastly, we have Wolfie Chew. I had subscribed to them back when I think they were just kind of making little skits and story times, and when I had heard their voice, like I do with most YouTubers, voices that stand out to me are the ones that I tend to follow more. I don't know if it's because I'm more interested now in like understanding voice acting and other things like that, but when I identify someone's voice and face and something iconic about them, it draws me to it, and that was something that I had worried about my channel was, am I entertaining enough? Is people gonna like my voice, my artwork, all kinds of stuff, and thanks to Wolfie Chew, I had built up a bit of confidence and love watching their little like stories, and think that overall I enjoy just watching them just have fun. Let me know if you think I nailed the art style. And that wraps it up with 20 styles. My wrist hurts, but I'm not done yet because I think I'm gonna do a part 2 to this challenge. Let Mr. YouTube know by subscribing, turning on notifications, and let me know down in the comments which one you like the best, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye!